Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to do a talk about the mathematics of weight. So this is definitely nothing that I've ever, I guess, shared with before. The way I kind of tackle issues when I have a few pounds that I'm looking to get rid of, but I decided to put together this video, explain how I use math when I'm trying to lose weight. And hopefully some people find it interesting, and if you don't, sorry for wasting your time. If you do, feel free to follow it, because I'm going to be going over this little journey that I'm going to be on for at least another 32 days. Yesterday was my day 1, and today is day 2. And I am going to walk through what I'm doing and give you the good, the bad, and ugly of how I'm doing with this whole process as well. So I am almost done. And, we can kind of take it from there. Hold on one second. So who's in right now with me? Is that Jules? Jules, is that you? See here. Okay. Okay, so see here is, okay, so here we go. So a couple things. Let me start out by saying I was over at my sister's house on Sunday, and I had an allergic reaction to something. So, what I did is I measured that allergic reaction in the form of how much excess water weight that I was holding on to. And obviously, when you have an allergic reaction, it kind of throws you off and you feel pretty bad. And the allergic reaction that I have is to soy. And I think I never really had it when I was younger, but now they've put soy into everything. And I think after I had a hip surgery, I have cobalt and chromium in my joint from this hip resurfacing surgery I had. I think it's somehow interacting with some of these allergens, because they can't medically find anything wrong. But when I look up these metals in my body, and I've been tested for metal poisoning, and I don't have metal poisoning, there must be something taking place with the reaction of certain ingredients. Because anybody who knows me, I can't drive. Like when I go out to eat at a restaurant and there's a possibility I might have eaten soy, I do not drive home. I have my wife drive, because it kind of impacts me in a pretty horrible way from that perspective. So Monday morning, yesterday, after this allergic reaction, I'm laughing because it's embarrassing, but sometimes you got to laugh at the truth. As I weighed in at 202.2 pounds. Now, I haven't weighed over 200 pounds in over 2 years. And that's a big number. It's a very disturbing number to me from the standpoint of how much what my BMI is. And so yesterday I did my intermittent fasting. And I also did calorie restriction simultaneously. And based on the mathematics, your body burns about 40, on a minimum, about 40 calories per hour just to function. So your brain uses about 20% of your calorie intake, say 200-300 calories a day. And then, to keep your organs healthy and your body going so that your body doesn't feel as though it's being starved, you need to consume about between 40 and 60 calories per day. Look, I'm not a dietitian. Please go talk to one before you do any of this. This is strictly for something that you guys should look into and research for yourself. If you think that you want to use math to put together, to add to your diet plan. So with that said, you can consume about 960 calories, and then my body should function properly. Now, consuming, that number of calories, give or take 50 or whatever, it's a function of willpower at that point. It's like, do you want to give up eating? And so for me, knowing that to cut weight, you need to, you need to do it one of two ways. You can lose weight. Okay, it's not complicated. You either have to eat less or you have to move around more. Those two things. You either got to eat less or move around more. And so I just want to start out by saying I started at 202.2 yesterday. I did about 1,000 calories yesterday, time restriction within a 6-hour window. And this morning I weighed in at 198.8. So I lost 3.4 pounds in one day. And the reason why I say that that's not sustainable is because mathematically, I probably consumed 1,500 or 2,000 fewer calories. And since you need about 3,500 calories you need to burn through about 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound. So if you want to lose 10 pounds, you have to come up with a way, either through eating less or working out more, to burn through 35,000 calories. That's the way the math works. So since I only cut, say, 1,750 calories below what my target was, I should have lost about a half a pound. Okay, so that tells me I was never at 202.2 from a maintenance perspective of my body. I was probably closer to 199.3. So where was the other 2.9 pounds? Or, you might ask, it was all excess water that my body was retaining because it was flared up from the allergic reaction. This is a very important thing to consider when you're keeping track of your health, because you want to know when you're losing weight that's just tied to fluctuations of water in your body versus you're losing weight because you're truly extinguishing or getting rid of fat in your body. There's a big difference between the two. I hear these stories all the time. I lost 10 pounds. I lost 15 pounds of water. Well, that's not really losing the mass of your body that might be stored as fat. That's just losing inflammation. So when you stop eating and you have less inflammation in your body because you're not eating allergens, you might lose a lot of water weight fast because your body's not inflamed. But don't confuse that with you lost the weight permanently. And that's why people fluctuate back the other way. And I'm going to kind of talk about those things, what I think is happening. And once again, I am not holding myself out to be an expert in diet stuff. This is just one person. I'm just giving my perspective on how I tackle the problem with some math and logic and what I kind of looked into to better understand what's taking place. So one of the key ways that you can glide down to your ideal weight is if you know how many calories you need to consume on a daily basis to maintain your existing weight, then whatever your target weight is, if you calculate through one of these calorie calculators like calculator.net, how many calories your body needs to consume in order to function at the weight that you want to be at. So if you're supposed to consume, for example, 2,500 calories, at your current weight, but then you want to weigh X percent, and then it says, okay, well, if you want to weigh X percent, you need to consume 350 fewer calories per day. So if you consume 350 calories fewer per day, then you will lose about 1 pound every 10 days, approximately. So without doing anything else with your routine differently, with regards to working out, going to the gym, doing any of that stuff, you just literally, if you just chop 350 calories per day, because that's your calorie intake, what it should be if you were at your target weight, then every 10 days you'll lose about 1 pound. So in 100 days, so less than a third of a year, you'll lose 10 pounds. Now, what's fascinating about the human body is it can lose weight 3 to 4 times as fast as it's normally put on in a healthy manner. So that's what's pretty cool. So if it takes you a year to pick up 10 pounds, theoretically, you can lose that 10 pounds in 3 to 4 months in a very healthy manner. And that's just the way our bodies are designed, which is super cool. And it should be somewhat encouraging, because if you do the right thing, you can tweak it off pretty fast. Okay, so I mentioned the first thing. You cut the calories, you can burn 350. If you set your calorie intake to what your target weight is, and don't do anything but just cut that many calories, you can glide down to what you want your weight to be. Now, if you're like, well, you know what, I want to go a little faster, Bobby. How do I do it a little faster? Maybe try to lose 1 pound a week. In my case, my target unofficially is to try to maybe lose 2 pounds a week. I'd like to lose about, say 0.3, 0.4 pounds a day on average. So for me, what I'm doing is I am going to do the time restriction, because what happens is the analogy that I use is when you have food in your stomach, right? You think of it as like gas in a car in the tank. And so let's just say, for example, you eat breakfast and you had 400 calories, and then you go work out at the gym. Okay. When you go work out at the gym, and then you turn around and burn off 400 calories. And then when you get out of the gym, you're hungry right away. So you went from, I had breakfast, I went and worked out, and I consumed 400 calories, and then I spent 400 calories. But then when I get out of the gym, I'm going to eat again because I'm hungry now that I worked out. So if you can get your mind to be like, you know what, I don't want to work out. I don't want to eat until I work out first, because then if you need the energy, what's going to happen is going to empty your tank. So if there's any remaining calories or food in your stomach from the night before or whatever in your system, you burn through that first. And then what will happen is you'll tap your fat reserves. So the way you lose weight, there's 2 ways you lose weight. I talked about, you got to move more or eat less. But the way you actually lose the weight, so your body, your fat cells in your body, they need to be broken down. And those, once they get broken down, they enter your bloodstream as energy. So that's the sugars, right? That's your glucose. So if once your fat cells are broken down, you need energy. You don't have the food in your stomach. You're working out. You're burning 400 calories. Your body's like, hey, Bobby, I'm going to tap your fat cells. And then, you pull some of the fat cell energy, comes into your bloodstream, and then you breathe out 86% of your fat loss. That's the physics of weight loss, is the energy from fat cells is, and I saw a talk on this, and you can go check the math. 86% of, it's 86, not, make sure it's not 84%. No, I'm sorry. 84% of fat you need to breathe it out. So as your body is taking it out of storage, it breaks it down through your blood. 84% of that energy you breathe out. That's why you got to breathe. That's why people run and so forth. And then 16% you sweat out. So it's just water. So it's those 2 components. That's the only way you can lose weight. You have to breathe it out, or you have to sweat it out. So the way you breathe it out and sweat it out is you need to tap into that energy from your fat reserves. And then you need to do things where you breathe more or you sweat more. So an interesting thing for people that don't like, so for me, the next 33 days, I don't want to screw up a good thing. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to go to the gym for the next 33 days. You may be like, Bobby, how are you going to lose weight, a half a pound, 0.4 pounds a day, and not go to the gym? It's a great question. The reason why I'm going to lose the weight is if I'm already stressing my body by restricting calories, and I'm going to restrict the time that I eat, then my body is already working out to kind of pull energy from my fat reserves, because I need to consume 2,500 or so calories per day to function at this size. So if I need to consume that much, my body has to work harder temporarily because I have excess fat. If I don't have that excess fat, it doesn't have to work as hard. It's going to want me to eat. So since I have that fat in me already, I'm going to say, body, I don't want to work out at the gym. I want you to go pull all this energy and work out for me. And I'm just going to do my thing and move around and keep breathing. And you pull all the energy that I need. And I'm going to function with just enough calories that you don't think I'm starving myself, which is about 1,000 calories. And then I'm going to make sure that I have enough of healthy calories for my brain and my organs and everything to properly function. Great. Now, Bobby, it's like, okay, I want to lose another, I want to get the equivalent of 30 minutes of walking every day. But sometimes I don't have time to walk, or it's too cold outside. No problem, Bobby. Take a hot bath for an hour. So if you just want to sit in the bathtub and read or watch a movie, it's a hot bath. You will burn off the equivalent of walking for half an hour if you sit in a warm bath. Why? Well, because you're sweating. Like your body is sweating, and your body's trying to maintain a normal temperature. So when you're in warm water, whether you be in a jacuzzi, whether you be in a sauna, make sure you don't have any heart problems. You got to talk to a doctor if you have a heart problem or something. So once again, go talk to an expert if you have any kind of medical conditions. I'm saying for me, I sit in the tub, watch a movie, I read. I'm going to burn off at least 130 calories by just doing that. Just like that. I'm going to sweat. I'm going to sweat out some of my excess water from any type of allergens in my system. I'm going to sweat off a little bit of extra calories in my system. And that's pretty cool, because every 30 days, once a month, if you take a hot bath every night for a month, you don't do anything else, and you sit in there for an hour, you may lose 1 pound a month just doing that. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm kind of lazy. So if I can accomplish, I'm gonna get my work on it. I'm gonna relax. I get to relax, and then the nice thing about a hot bath, as you guys know, it kind of de-stresses you. It helps break up any blockages in your body. If you have knots in your body, you're more likely to have knots in your body if you're carrying excess weight, because the weight's kind of pulling on your skeleton, your muscle structure of your body. So that's causing various kinks to occur, and it's causing strain on your joints. So it's kind of nice. You tackle, I'm burning some calories, I'm getting some reading done that I want to get done, or watching something. And then on top of it, it's loosening me up because my body's tight, because I happen to have too much weight on me. And the other thing it does is your body is when you're burning fat off your body's under stress. So it's extremely important as you do this that you get enough sleep. You got to get extra sleep, because when your body is under stress, if you don't get enough sleep, what do you want to do? You want to drink alcohol sometimes. You want to eat more food, because that's how people deal with stressors. Sometimes you may want to smoke cigarettes instead. Whatever. There's different ways people deal with stressors. But my point is, one of the best ways to minimize dealing with the stressor is get extra sleep. So that's what I would say. Well, look, I want to kind of keep this at about under 20 minutes. I'll tell you more, I guess, tomorrow. I'll go over a couple other things with regards to how your body works, and I'll check in on what my weight is. So right now, I weighed in at 198.8. I don't have a hard and fast target. So my advice to you is think about what your number is. Compute it, what you think it needs to be. And if you can trim off through different things, a bath is 130 calories. If you can turn around and cut the number of calories that you consume, and if you do intermittent fasting, so your body can process and tap into your fat reserves on your body first instead of the calories that come easy from eating, you can go really far pretty fast. I think you can see the weight come off. And I'll kind of talk about the benefits. And before this whole thing is over, I'm going to kind of do this a little bit every day for as long as it takes to kind of explain all these concepts. I think you'll be shocked by the results, and you guys will see a different Bobby. The Bobby of right now is a little about 20 pounds heavier than the Bobby you see in the clip about the money game. So that's why my cheeks are a little fuller. But anyways, I'll be your test case. So you don't have to do anything. Don't change anything in your routine right now. You just take a look at my mug and be like, is this guy losing any weight or not? But anyways, I'm going to give up alcohol temporarily as well for the next 33 days. Why? Because it leads to a tremendous amount of inflammation in your body. And so if you're really trying to lose weight temporarily and restart your system in terms of your stomach and everything, then you really want to pause from drinking. It's been my experience. Everybody's got a different approach, but for me, that's the approach that I'm going to take. And we'll see how it goes. And so thank you guys for chiming in, and I'll keep you guys posted. Enjoy the rest of your day.